taking on the reigning 154-pound champion Javier Castillejo from Spain. As you take a look at the tail of the tape, you see that Castillejo is actually taller, but Oscar has the reach as he usually does, and there's a little bit of an age difference there. And for the countries around the world that take it in the metric system, there you have it. Now, Dave, how about the rules under which this will be contested tonight?
Okay, Colonel, no 3 knockdown rule, no standing 8 count. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell at all. Only the referee can stop the fight, but doctors have a lot to say about it, of course.
And also the 10-point must scoring system. 3 judges, Anik Hontingkem from Thailand, Johnny Keane from the UK, and Chuck Chiemper of the Nevada State Athletic Commission right here in Nevada.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the city of entertainment, the MGM Grand Hotel and Casino of Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. Univision Sports, in association with Murad Mohammed, M&M Sports, and Corona Extra, proudly present 12 rounds of boxing for the WBC Super Welterweight Championship of the World. Sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. The 3 judges assigned to ringside scoring this bout on the 10-point must system will be from the United States, Chok Jampa, from Thailand, Anek Hongtongkam, and from England, John Keane. And when the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action from Nevada, USA, Vic Draculich. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing red and weighing in at 154 pounds. He captured Olympic gold in 1992 and now, as a professional, with 33 victories in 35 bouts, including 27 knockouts, he has captured 5 world championships. Tonight, he is the challenger, looking to capture number 6. Ladies and gentlemen, from East LA, here is the former junior lightweight, former super lightweight, and 2-time welterweight champion of the world, the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya. And across the ring, his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black with gold. He also weighed in at 154 pounds. His professional record is an outstanding one, consisting of 51 victories in his 55 bouts, including 34 knockouts. And he is undefeated for the last 5.5 years, winning 14 consecutive contests with 11 KOs. Ladies and gentlemen, from Madrid, España, making his 6th title defense, presenting the reigning and defending WBC Super Welterweight Champion of the World, Javier "The Lince" Castillejo.
Second.
This is a huge event in the middle of the night in Spain as Vic Draculich pulls him in.
All right, gentlemen, this is for the WBC Super Welterweight title. You received your instructions. Again, I want to caution you. Any punches below here will be called low. Any punches here will be called low. With that, are there any questions? Any questions for Chief Seconds? Remember, obey my commands, protect yourselves at all times. Touch them up now, good luck to both of you. Let's go.
All right, so we're set to go. David, take a look at Castillejo. Obviously, he spent his time in the gym.
He looks to be in great shape and warmed up. You like to see the sweat pouring off the body, as you do see here for Oscar De La Hoya as well. He's a guy that is looking forward to the major spotlight, not to be intimidated by it. And as you said, a major event in Spain. and he seems ready to come up with a big night.
Well, we're on in Spain in English. Of course, it's also on in Spanish over there. But we've got a huge audience in Spain, so we'll give you the call and tell you everything that your man is doing. Castillejo in the white shoes with the fringe on him and the fringe shorts. This guy, again, a very good boxer. Oscar starts right in, jab, 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 right hand, and almost drops him in the first round. But that was more off balance as Castillejo. He's got to be a little bit nervous. Only his, I think it's his 4th fight overseas, first time in the USA, and coming to Las Vegas, Nevada is a huge thing for him and all the people that are with him.
And yet, despite that big task for a guy to have to come up against, his overall maturity has helped him throughout the week in handling questions and in handling the spotlight. I've gotten the sense that he will get over that hump sooner than most in this situation.
Well, he's got Samson Lukovic who worked with him and can speak both languages, so he's helped him out a lot in getting ready for this. So right now, though, in round number 1, De La Hoya is picking off the punches on the gloves of as Castillejo tests his jab. You see Oscar doing what he always does in the first round. Goes with his hooks and go downstairs. He'll test his jab, he'll test his right hand. And most of his stuff is landing. Not all of it. Oscar hanging that left glove low because he has such quick hands, trying to invite Castillejo to come in. The body of Castillejo, great, great shape. Oscar has a different body style. He doesn't have the ripple muscles, but he has the perfect body for a boxer, long striated muscles in his arms.
And he's deceptively tall. He's got a good reach, even though he looks like a chiseled, compact boxer. And for De La Hoya, although the power is going to be there, this could be a stage of his career now where we're going to see a lot more from his intelligence guiding where he goes in fights as he goes up against bigger guys.
And Dave, he certainly has that. He may not have the power, but we'll find that out in this fight. We'll see if he can drop this guy at all. So first off, we're going to see if he can beat him. I mean, like I said at the outset, this isn't a walkover. The champion out there tonight is Javier Castillejo. He's not afraid of De La Hoya as he digs to the body. Right on the liver shot there. Chopping right hand as Javier goes low, Oscar goes high. Good exchange, the crowd loves it. Anytime De La Hoya does anything, and I mentioned there's a sizable crowd here to support Castillejo, but it's overwhelmingly for Oscar De La Hoya as the right hand crashes to the left side of the head of Castillejo. The bell ends round number 1. A good round for Castillejo, but not enough. De La Hoya gets out. A panel of international judges, Chuck Chiempa from here in Las Vegas, and then Johnny Keane from the UK, and Anik Hongpeng from Thailand, who does a lot of world championship fights. Notice Floyd Mayweather Sr. back with Oscar for this fight. And Joe Chavez in the corner. Well, Oscar has tested a lot of different trainers working with him over the years.
Tranquilo, hay mucho round.
El ojo izquierdo suyo está un poquito dañado.
Fuego izquierda. Cuando tendrás fuego izquierda abajo, vuelve con el cuchillo de derecha arriba. Está cerquita para que entre ese golpe.
Ahí tienen más equipos.
Vamos, Liz.
Very controlled, no panic in the corner there from Richard Sanchez Otocha, who is the main trainer of Castillejo. Sometimes the trainers, when they come to Las Vegas and come to the States for the first time, they're all hopped up and they know what their kid can do. They're confident in Castillejo. This is round number 2. The Colonel Bob Sheridan with Dave Bontempo. Hope wherever you are around the world, especially you folks that are taking it in English in Spain, are enjoying our night from Las Vegas, Nevada.
It was a good battle of the jabs in the opening round, captured by Oscar De La Hoya. And every fight, he gets an early sense of what's going to work for him, and he will go to that strength. And if he forces a change in his opponent's strategy, he will adjust to that. And here, he's up at 154. And although he'll wing the power, he's content to do what boxing is necessary, to use as much in the jabbing department as is necessary.
Well, he outboxed Castillejo in the first round. and a lot of Castillejo's shots are being smothered and caught in the gloves of Oscar De La Hoya. Well, Oscar's fighting very confident. I don't like the fact that he has that left hand down, but it paid off for him that time because he got right to the forehead. Remember, Oscar's very quick. Castillejo looks almost a little bit muscle-bound. And Vic Dracula says, keep him up, guys. We don't want anything to happen. This is looking like a dandy of a fight so far here.
That's something that you mentioned, the muscle-bound comment, that Oscar has made a lot of guys look slow and not quite getting a nice flex action on their jab or letting their punches go smoothly, because he's got that quickness edge, and there he shows it with the head, making a nice move defensively on the inside to get into punching range.
And Castillejo, while he doesn't have great bulky muscles, you can see that his muscles appear to be much tighter than Oscar's. Oscar has those long striated muscles and it's perfect. Chop, 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 body shots. Wild with the left hand goes Castillejo. And Oscar's still quick on his feet. The quickness comes with him even at 147. The power, well, we're going to see before the fight's over.
And he's made a nice adjustment in that category, coming up to 154 pounds. He drilled Castillejo with a good right hand, and it was the second punch in the exchange. First one got blocked. He kept on following through and nailed him with a good shot. And from the Castillejo perspective, you're thinking, hey, I've got the title. This is my weight class. I should be able to get into some kind of comfort zone during this fight, and that's what we're going to find out.
Well, Castillejo is getting a lot of shots up, and then again being caught and smothered. Sometimes Oscar even uses two hands when he comes out with that jab, because Oscar does have quicker hands. Loading up, windmilling again with the right hand is Castillejo, and Oscar's so slick at slipping punches because he's in and out, in and out. The old Angelo Dundee adage, hit and don't get hit. Bell ends round two, closer round, but I think you got to give it a De La Hoya.
Javi, cuando falta 10 segundos siempre tira. Estate atento a eso. Coge.
Pero the ignition this guy's in.
Javi, tienes que tirarle los golpes al cuerpo, No vayas a tirar la cabeza, tírale los golpes al cuerpo.
Total look of concern in his eyes, Dave. That'll tell you the story.
Ancho, Javi, porque está cerquita, puede meterle ese golpe.
He can't get to Oscar De La Hoya. He's a little bit short. He's going to need to make some kind of an adjustment with his footwork to get some better angles.
But you know, Dave, throughout Oscar's career, he's always just outside the hit zone, and when he comes in, he's throwing or he's dipping or he's doing something. He just doesn't waltz into it. There you go.
Good jab here by De La Hoya. The left hook misses, but the right hand I talked about on the trailing end of it.
And he doesn't come back and admire it after he lands a good right hand. He's right back to hooks to the body. Coming to round number 3. Interesting fight so far. The champion in the black trunks with the white shoes and the tassels is Javier Castillejo from Madrid, Spain, the reigning 154-pound champion of the world in his 7th title defense. Oscar 2-2 in his last 4 fights with wins over Arturo Gatti and Daryl Coley, and very disputed losses to Felix Trinidad and Shane Mosley. A majority decision loss to Trinidad and a split decision loss to Shane. So he would love to get back at these guys, but he's got a tall order here in front of him tonight. And so far, it's going well.
And an excellent right hand by De La Hoya as Castillejo drifted into the path of it. But when you watch these guys, they both want to start with the jab, but watch how De La Hoya gets close to Castillejo into the punching range first. And that's why with the little lean of the head, the movement, the quick shift of the feet, he gets into the punching zone and scores. Whereas for Castillejo, he cannot get that subtlety mastered, and his jabs are coming up short.
People ask why does he lose friends when he switches trainers, but Oscar's frankly, he says, no, I want a little something different from each guy, and he's gone through a ton of trainers. And now, you know, Floyd Mayweather Sr. is a great defensive coach, and I can see Oscar getting hit less than, of course, in the Arturo Gatti fight. It was so offensive-minded, it was difficult to say, but his defense here has been terrific, and I think that's part of the coaching of Mayweather Sr.
And that's what's going to be his blueprint for success moving forward, as you would suspect the power would drop off a little bit. Your key is the boxing, and the key will be your defense. If you can bring those things with you, even if the power subsides a little bit, you can flourish in a heavier weight class. And another interesting thing about De La Hoya, And the questions brought up about, well, does he not like this guy or that guy because of the change in trainers? He is one of the rare guys who has changed trainers and not been losing fights when he does that, or not look back on dissatisfied efforts when he changes trainers. He has a tactical reason for doing it, which is one of the rare instances in boxing where that happens.
And every trainer says that, and he has no enemies amongst the trainers that he's gone through. I admire him for doing that and learning as much as he can. I mean, Oscar, you remember, is only 28 years of age in spite of all the titles. I mean, this kid is something else. Wow, with the left hand goes Oscar. Very rarely do you see him get too wild with his hooks. He usually catches a piece of the guy.
And as we were talking about the different trainers, he gave us the Gil Clancy feint.
Yeah.
Gil Clancy taught him that feint.
Closing seconds now of round number 3. Oscar tries to finish with a couple of shots. Here comes the bell to end the 3rd round. Oscar's daddy, Yoel, shouting some words of inspiration to his son. He's always at ringside for Oscar's fights and has been since the Olympics. All right, we're set to go to the 4th round. Unofficially, I've given Oscar all 3 of the first 3 rounds based on landing heavier shots than has Castillejo. But remember, Castillejo in black is the champion. To the right of your screen, that's Oscar De La Hoya. In the red to the left of your screen, 3rd man in the ring, Vic Dracula. Oscar doing some of that feigning, Dave, you're talking about, taught to him by Gil Clancy, who is a big believer in feigning to get guys to make a move and then you nail it.
Yeah, you get them off balance, they react to it, they drop the shoulder, or they get frozen for a second, and then you can pop another shot home. And De La Hoya, as we so often see, starting with the jab and getting right at the guys. When you see him fight after fight, when do you see a wasted round?
Very rarely. I think he learned that in the Trinidad fight because he's not going to waste any more rounds in his career, I'll tell you that. Notice when we have the widest shot for you that Oscar has that right foot, twisted around almost perpendicular to the way. See that? Good shot. Thanks, Frank Belmont. Appreciate it. That shows exactly what I'm talking about because with that foot in that position, he can drive and either hook or land very stiff jabs. And also, it sets him up. Driving hook and then the right hand behind it. So he's always done that. See, even and Dave, when you see when he's in the kill zone, he's moving his head, so it's a very difficult target for Castillejo to get up. By the time you get the thought and it hits your brain and you throw the punch, he's gone. See that?
You can hang around in the kill zone, so to speak, where you can be nailed if you know what you're doing, if you can move your head, and if you know how much time you can spend in there and get out. Because you can also get a better offensive opportunity when you get close. What you love about De La Hoya, watching fight after fight with him, is how he can sense what is the most of the opportunity and get out. Whether it's a flurry in which he hurts a guy, or whether it's a situation where he works inside and gets 2 jabs. Then he reloads and goes to the next situation. What he does, he basically breaks down every round into a series of skirmishes.
And I'll tell you, his positioning is absolutely perfect. About 90, I would say 95% of the time, he's in absolutely the position that he dictates, where he wants to be, where he wants to start. Will he square up with the right hand to get a left hook in? Will he drive off the back foot to get his good, powerful jab in? This time he just measures it, and you knew he was going to come with an uppercut after that. And there's what I call the 45 when he drives that left hand from the hip towards the head. It's not a hook, and it's not a straight punch. And that time he lands the right hand as Javier feels the ropes in the back. But he's just nothing dramatic. He's just outboxing this guy at 154. It's perfect. Meanwhile, Castillejo is not landing enough punches at all. And we've got 4 rounds in the books, and I got Oscar winning them all. And believe me, folks, I'm not afraid to score around for this guy, so I'm looking now for something in a round to give him. But he's got to dictate.
Tú lo estás viendo cuando viene. Y tira abajo y arriba, Javi.
Come on, do it again. I'll do one time. Keep doing like you're doing, man. Use the feints, okay? Feint and walk. Feint and walk, touch. Then when you get ready to combination, bring them all in, okay?
Well, you heard, Dave, what we were talking about, that Gil Clancy taught him about the feint and talking about the defense that he's learning and has learned from Floyd Mayweather Sr. Use the feint, and when he does that, and he's been doing that more, at least in the last round, and it really sets up shots from clean shots where Castillejo, if there's any problem for him, he can't land clean shots with Oscar's defensive moments. We look for the offense all the time, and a little bit of scoring goes on defense, but very little. But nonetheless, the good defense sets up great offense.
And you have to react to that feint if you're De La Hoya's opponent. It's just human nature. You flinch. You think that you're going into defensive mode to block a jab, and then he's able to pull that back. And he doesn't overdo it. So it's not something that's easy to time over the course of the fight. And here's De La Hoya again. Notice the positioning. Notice how he pays almost no price for getting inside. It can be a jab, it can be a bob and weave, it can be a slide, it can be a shuffle, but De La Hoya gets into punching position more cheaply than just about anybody in boxing.
And Dave, as you were explaining that to our viewing audience, he got hit by a pretty good right hand, pretty good in terms of the fact it got to his chin, but he was rolling with it, and so no power felt at all. And that's important that we see that he's not getting hit with power shots here at 154. He's landed the power shots. He hasn't dropped this guy, but the face is starting to look a little bit on the messy side of Castillejo. Castillejo with his back to you. Oscar working upstairs right now, and hitting him downstairs just as quick. You know, when he has both hands down like this, he's filled with confidence.
Not only does he sense vulnerability and weakness when he looks in an opponent's eyes or maybe hears a grunt from a punch, but when he senses an opponent slowing down the pace, he automatically steps up his own instinctively, and that is what he is doing here, getting closer and letting the hands go more. Now he pays a price there. That was an important move for Castillejo to answer for the time being, even as Oscar rolled with it.
Yeah, that would be the best punch landed throughout the course of this fight by certainly by Castillejo. I mean, but Oscar's just being able to gobble up most of the stuff. Nice defensive work there by Castillejo. And then, as I say that, Oscar, look at it. He landed about 6 punches, but 2 of them with really malice of weapon.
And when he gets close, De La Hoya always goes to work.
Right now, he's lingering a little bit inside that zone, but he's got his hands held high so he can't be hit, and Castillejo is not going to the body. See, once in Castillejo's hands, he wants to hit him in the head, and Oscar's got his hands held high. Then he dips and catches him with the body. This is really good boxing. The bell ends the 5th round, and again, on Castillejo, it's not a really big round for Oscar, but it is a round for Oscar. Again, the heavier blows, ring generalship.
How you feel? Okay. Take a deep breath. Come on, take a deep one more.
Chavez working over the ropes. Floyd Mayweather in front of him.
You got a little Vaseline.
De La Hoya Jr. His face, just a little bit of puffiness that he always gets when he's been fighting. This guy to the other side of his face is starting to bust up.
Cuando tiras a mano derechita alguna vez te la enseña, a ver si le coges el hígado.
Ahora empieza ya a mantener tu distancia, Javi, ¿eh? A tirarle ya de izquierda, cuando entre.
De La Hoya on the outside, jabbing to get into range, gets caught with 2 punches there, rolls with it after, but Castillejo got the message that that one scored.
And I think Oscar felt some nice power that time because he kept moving his head back and forth. So this is round 6. At the MGM Grand Garden Arena here in Las Vegas, Nevada, on a beautiful June night. It's hot outside in the desert, but it's great inside here. The fighters are certainly letting off a lot of steam and heat. They're working hard for you. De La Hoya seems again like he's got some sort of second wind right now. When you see him get up on his toes, stops, positions himself in front, does a nice job blocking the right hand, of Javier Castillejo. Javier trying to ball with the jab, and Oscar answers with a stiff jab.
Well, you know De La Hoya is eager to get into a mid-round surge. We see so many mid-round surges from him during the course of fights. But here he is also sticking to the discipline, jabbing, respecting Castillejo, trying to break him down. Seeing a little bit more body work here from Oscar as he tries to totally slow Castillejo down, get in tight, and land some good right hands. Jab and then go downstairs again. And again, he's right on top of his opponent.
See, he has the quickness to hold that left hand down because he's going to go for the hook with that. Instead, he goes with the straight jab, jab, jab. That's a positioning move. Look for the right hand behind that. Oscar's such a terrific boxer. People just don't realize it. They think it just happens automatic that he knocks guys out. And he's in against a bigger man, 154 pounds, and a legitimate guy that's been fighting 154 for years. And Oscar so far holding up to the test again, winning every round. Look at this. Who's landing the punches here, Dave? That's the story.
Yeah, De La Hoya getting in, blocking. One got through there out of 3 by Castillejo, enough to keep him coming forward and try to land. But there's 2 excellent shots by De La Hoya and follows Castillejo. Now watch with that how he denies Castillejo the luxury of regrouping. I land 2 shots, I shuffle over to the side, I'm right back on top of it.
That right hand is there for Oscar, and he's doing that little feint to the left, trying to get him to feint with him, and if he does, he'll nail him with the right hand. See, that's why he's parring with his left now as he sneaks off. Instead, he goes downstairs. Oscar will take whatever you give him. You're going to hold your left hand high, he'll nail you to the body with the right hand. I mean, Castillejo is a terrific boxer here, but he, you know, the defensive tactics, there's a perfect example. On the gloves, on the shoulders. Positioning again by Oscar, moving in but not getting hit. Don't like this left hand down here. He's inviting the right hand, and he got it that time. He didn't get hit hard. He got hit hard with a left hook, though. So that ignites Oscar. I'd love to give a round to Castillejo, but I can't give him that one.
How can you? The signature punches still belong to De La Hoya.
With that said, I've got a 59-54 through 6 halfway point here in the scheduled 12-round affair.
Look at shot. Look at shot. Shot right hand.
Nobody's been down. Nobody's shaking.
Bring it here. Right hand. Right. Right to the body. Left hook. Right hand up top. All right.
Don't get lazy with that jab.
Take a deep breath. Try one more time. Okay. Keep boxing smart. Keep your head moving. Keep doing like you're doing. Use the jab up and down, up and down.
Use the jab up and down, they're telling Oscar. There's the up side of it, followed by a right hand, and there is Castillejo planting himself and scoring with another good shot on De La Hoya. The last couple rounds he has had some pretty good shots, not enough to win rounds, but enough to make a couple of statements.
Right after that, I mean, Oscar's feeling the power at 154, but he's landing more power shots than his Castillejo because of his, basically his terrific defense. Every once in a while when he has a lapse, Castillejo has capitalized, but I think I can remember only 3 shots that were significant to the head of De La Hoya. He had that combination a couple of rounds ago. He had that nice shot in the last round that you just described. And people are watching a chess match now that Oscar De La Hoya is moving towards the queen in a hurry. And this is only round 7, the second half of this World Championship fight. And don't forget the man in black has the title. Here's Oscar, body shots, head shots. You hear the crowd's reaction right away anytime Oscar does anything. Good jab, crashes to the forehead, the temple area of Castillejo.
And at lighter weight classes, what De La Hoya did, even at the beginning of this round, would have dropped guys. Up at the 154-pound class, it's enough to get him respect and get him points, but he has to go back to the drawing board and try to score with enough punches where the power can be respected, but outbox the guys.
Well, he's doing that, Dave, and that's the key. He's been able to gobble up on 3 occasions the power of Castillejo, who is a legitimate 154-pound fighter. And meanwhile, Oscar's just outboxed this guy. So he's using what tools he has as he moves up in weight. And that's his boxing skill, his quickness, his good defense.
You have to take your patience deeper into fights as you move up in these divisions. Whereas the big shots you land may not turn your opponent as it did in the lighter weight classes, but you have to keep your discipline as he's doing here. Again, getting right on top of Castillejo, doing the smart boxing thing, moving the feet, always making the instinctive move and often the correct one.
When Oscar has his hand down, it's not by mistake, it's by design. It's not because he's fatigued. He's trying to draw this guy in so he can chop it with the right hand. See that? He missed the uppercut there, then boom, right back with a sort of straight right hand there. Now he's powering with the left, but he's in position to really land a right hand. This time, Castillejo comes forward and smothers all that, lands a couple of shots with Oscar's right hand. But every time Castillejo does something, look at Oscar comes back and lands 2 or 3.
And he's right on him, taking away any breathing room. So Castillejo is in a reaction mode rather than a get-off first mode. And that's to De La Hoya's credit. He's doing this against a very good fighter.
You can see why Castillejo has been so successful as the bell ends round number 7, because, you know, he's standing up to Oscar, but he's just losing every round.
Cuidado con esto, tú, gilipollas, que me estás asfixiando, coño. No bajes. ¿Qué te pasa? ¿Qué pasa?
Que te den por culo, Javi.
No, pues que no me puedo aganchar aquí, coño.
Ahora, Javi, tienes que tirar los golpes por corazón, ponerle alma.
Controlar combination.
Triunfo en los golpes, Javi.
No puedes tomar el trabajo. Respirando, Javi. Eso es.
Quédate para cruzarte con él, Javi.
Okay, good.
Asking him to work harder.
Okay, breathe in slow one time for me.
Well, Floyd Sr. is very happy with what he's seeing.
Okay, so let's break the body down again, okay? We've been beating the head, forget about the head. Break your body down some more, okay? See the measure, the right hand?
Last thought for Oscar as we move to the 8th round. Try to break the body down, forget about the head. Let's see if he executes that. All that's good for about 10 or 15 seconds, and it's back to what you learned in the gym. Here we go, round 8. The Colonel Bob Sheridan with Dave Bontempo. We're at the NPM Grand Garden Arena here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Perfect night for boxing. Good crowd from Spain in town all week. And all of Austin's fans from LA. Sneaky right hand, get through, snap the head, right hand again. Partially blocked by Castillejo. Nobody's been down. Nobody's been shaken. White eye starting to break up a little bit of Castillejo. Oscar usually has those puffy cheeks about this time in a fight. He's got a fight, but not as bad as usual. Which is good since he's fighting a heavier guy.
Yeah, he's stirred Castillejo a few times. Not shaking him, but he has got his attention and moved him a number of times with the power shots. Not enough to hurt him necessarily, but enough to gain respect and to keep his good position. And here he is outside again, dictating. And now he's in a great spot because he's the guy coming up with speed, and Castillejo has to turn the tables on De La Hoya, and it's a remote possibility at this point.
Floyd Sr. asked for more body shots, and in fact, there have been more body shots when Oscar's back to the head. Now you see that right eye of Castillejo starting to blow up. Lands a decent right hand that time, because Oscar has his left hand down. He's almost inviting him to throw it, but that's because he wants the counter. But look at his positioning is perfect all the time, Dave. Every once in a while, I mean, you're in a fight. Every once in a while, he's going to get clipped, that he has every once in a while. But 95% of the time, he's in perfect position. Look at that. 4 punches thrown, none landed with a head move. Then he comes back and throws a combination.
And right after Castillejo misses, De La Hoya jumps right on top of him. So first thing you have to do is move the head properly so that the punches whiz by your chin by a couple inches. Then you get right back into the attack zone. Time after time, you need the bounce, you need the instinct, you need the reflexes, and you need the heart to do that, which De La Hoya has done. And from the Castillejo's perspective, hey, at least he's landed a few shots on Oscar De La Hoya here, reminding him that he is in a 154-pound fight. Castillejo has done everything he can. He just can't get to Oscar.
even there, he tried 3 right hands. Oscar either gets his elbow up, and he lands a looping right hand on his own, taps him again on the left side of the cheek. It's the right side that he's busting up, lands the left hook and the light right grazing right hand. Castillejo's got to be frustrated. He's the reigning champ, but he's never fought anybody. This is a big step up in class for him. He's fought a lot of his fights in Europe. He came to Mexico for his last fight and beat a decent Javier Rodríguez in Mexico City, who's nowhere near in the class of the De La Hoya, as the bell signals the end of round number 8.
You got him, baby.
He's pretty good, baby. He's backing up on his toes.
Just don't follow. Cut him off.
You know? He's backing up on. Breathe in deep, let out slow.
On my score sheet, it would take a knockout for Castillejo now to win this fight. So all Oscar has to do, but based on the Trinidad fight, he's not going to coast, I don't think, for the last 4 rounds.
Dame agua, dame agua.
Blood inside that nose. They don't want to blow the nose and break a blood vessel.
No te suena mal, Javi.
Poquito a poco, después de que él tira, Javi.
Javi, mete tu izquierda y tu gancho de derecha. Pero mételo con alma, Javi. No lo dudes. Mételo para matarle, mételo para quitarle la cabeza.
Pops up. He just wants to get this thing over with now. Castillejo looks like a decent fighter, but remember, he's the champ and he's got championship qualities. So can he dig down? Remember, nobody down, nobody hurt in this fight, really. Bruises around the eyes of both guys. That's the body shot by De La Hoya, straight jab. And he begins to pick him apart in the early going here of round number 9.
This is something you would see, say, in round 5 in a welterweight bout for him. Now, as he moves up to 154, more breakdown in boxing required, and it takes till round 9 where you see the double and triple hands popping through. And even then, for De La Hoya, it may not be a permanent thing as far as the power is concerned, but he is willing to box.
A decent uppercut that time by Castillejo. Oscar right back, bangs him with the downstairs this time, right in the solar plex region. Nice defensive work that time by Castillejo. Oscar, his punch was a little off target that time. Of course, there's got to be fatigue for him too, because he's fighting a heavier man. We're in the 9th round. There's been a lot of hard work here. It's been a boxing show. We hear the crowd, a little bit of reaction, and now Oscar picks it up, lands about 5 punches, and that 6 or 7 punch flow. And then immediately, the few boos at the beginning here go to, yeah. Very partisan De La Hoya crowd, and he lands a couple of shots there again. Castillejo almost waiting now as Oscar measures him. When he does that with the left hand, you know the right's coming. And here's Oscar all over him now, picking up the pace. Castillejo doesn't want to have his back on those ropes because Oscar knows what to do. It's Oscar with a decent left hand and then right hand back. So maybe he got the adrenaline flow after that series of punches.
And this is the most that Castillejo has taken in 1 round, is De La Hoya loading up the 3-4 punch combinations and getting a lot of good power and turn into his punches here as he settles into a groove, jab landing, everything going De La Hoya's way here, his finest round of the fight. And yet, he shows the discipline to box because his 154-pound opponent, who's a durable guy, is still there.
Durability is exactly what Javier Castillejo is showing right now. But he's not winning any rounds, including this one. Look at this, combinations. In between, Javier Castillejo gets something off, but look at the amount of punches that Oscar's landing. And Oscar, by the way, is a little bit fatigued himself. That's why he's bouncing up on those toes to try to get those blood flow through those legs. But look at how hard he's sitting right down in that right hand. And he wants to throw right hands here now. I can feel it.
He expended a lot of energy in this round, too. It was a very good round for him.
Yeah, the bell ends the 9th, and that's no question around for De La Hoya. There have been some closer rounds, but I still haven't been able to give one to Castillejo yet. Look at it, 89-81 going to the last 3 rounds of the fight.
No, si es adrenalina. respirando.
How you feel, baby? Huh?
Hot.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, man. Anytime you this far ahead, man, you got to take care of your business, okay?
De La Hoya's best round of the fight. Jab opening up. We've seen him do this against lighter guys. This stuff drops them. Castillejo stays up. De La Hoya blitzes through the round.
I don't know if you folks could pick it up, but
Time in.
in De La Hoya's corner, Floyd Mayweather Sr. said, you know, you got this fight, just stay right on your business, you're doing fine. But I don't know about telling a guy who's got the fight, especially, you know, where Oscar had that last 3 rounds against Trinidad. But I don't think Oscar will make that mistake, believe me. You're going to close this show out as best he can, unless Castillejo catches him. Remember, it's Castillejo's title that's on the line here tonight. Oscar's just terrific boxing here. The difference in hand speed now.
And the interesting thing about what trainers tell fighters also is what fighters decide they will believe and take in the course of a fight. The trainer may say, okay, look, you've got this fight won, be careful. But you can still go out there on your own terms. You're a multi-division champion over the years, and you get your own sense of what you want to do, and you don't have to take blind orders from the corner, but try to take the best comment, and maybe the best comment that he takes from that is, yes, I'm in good shape as far as this fight up until now.
Well, again, the Mosley fight and the Trinidad fight was so close, split decision, and a majority decision. He's not going to take any chances here. Castillejo trying to come on here in the 10th. But all his good aggressiveness, look who just keeps him off balance all the time. Jab in the face again to the right side, and he chops him with the right hand. Nothing really big, but just controlling the flow of the fight. Stiff jab. See that foot in perfect position to throw the stiff jab now.
Double jab and evades the counter shot, then lands the right hand against the guy who tried to throw everything at him. Nice sequence by De La Hoya.
You're right, Dave. I mean, we're watching brilliant boxing here tonight. At one stage, few people were booing. There's a solid right hand on the chin. And again, that would have dropped guys at probably at 147, but at 54, Castillejo, even though it's in the later rounds, is able to gobble it up.
And that's why, as you look at this looks like a transformation division for Oscar De La Hoya, where we're going to see for him more style and guile to mix in with his power.
Now, he can land power shots that can slow guys down, and that's pretty much what he's done against Castillejo.
But if he doesn't finish them, he's willing to go deep into fights, outbox them, outpoint them, and take it that way.
Yeah, it's just a perfect fight plan for this fight. He's controlling most every single round, and he's certainly controlling the 10th round again. And Castillejo's kind of throwing more desperation shots, so Oscar wants to be sure he doesn't get clipped. They always think of that Michael Moore thing with George Foreman when Moore cruising along and thought everything was in his boom. George nails him in the last round and wins the fight and the world title. But that is not what's happening tonight.
Javi, si tiras golpes en serie, tira golpes en serie, 2 o 3, le entran los golpes, le entran bien, le duele y se queda parado, Javi.
No, estás entero, coño.
Lince.
Él ya no está tan entero, ¿eh?
Entra los golpes, tira de los golpes.
Ese gancho hacia arriba y
No puedes dejar nada, tienes que tirar todo lo que tengas, Javi. No.
When you get him held up in the corner, let the punches go, man. Let a barrage of them go. They'll stop the fight. Believe me. Keep him in the corner, run from here, back up top. Just keep letting them go, okay? Stop it. They're gonna look helpless. Keep throwing them, okay?
Coming up to round 11, the MGM Grand Garden Arena, Colonel Bob Sheridan with Dave Bontempo. Glad that you can be with us to watch Oscar De La Hoya move up very successfully so far to the 154-pound division. Now, the reigning champ, his reign may be short, but he almost needs to knock out Oscar De La Hoya right now. This WBC champ, this was his 7th title defense. He's not defending it well just yet. But there's about 5.5 minutes to go in this contest, so it's time for him. Because he's not out on his feet by any way, shape or manner.
The difference for Castillejo is he's used to jabbing guys and landing and driving them back and then transferring into a second part of his attack. But what's happened here is a lot is being blocked. And while some stuff gets in, he's also being hit hard. He's got a guy on top of him all the time. And that's one of the most underrated aspects of Oscar De La Hoya's attack, is that he doesn't let you breathe in there. He is right on top of you, and he puts you into a reactionary mode rather than an offensive mode.
In this fight, David loved Oscar's defense. He's had more offense than his opponent in every round, including this one. Lands a clean shot with the right hand, spins ahead of Castillejo. Castillejo must be tremendously frustrated halfway through this 11th round of the fight. Just hasn't been able to do anything with Oscar De La Hoya. There were a couple of close rounds, and he might have won one round, possibly in the fight. I don't know. Other than that, it's been just a boxing clinic for Oscar De La Hoya, which was the way to attack this 154-pound division, I think.
And a good example of that just moments ago with the jab in the right hand by Castillejo. Lands the jab, tries to put the right hand behind it. It's a good sequence, but the right hand whistles by as De La Hoya is already one step over to the left and then coming at him. Just an exquisite sense of timing that De La Hoya has on the inside. And although he's taking a few shots here and Castillejo is gritty, De La Hoya doing a very nice job from the intelligence standpoint.
Hoya's defense there, I mean, Castillejo threw about 6 punches. The ones that weren't taken on the gloves by Oscar, he was able to just duck away from them, doing a great job. Castillejo now gets a little body shot, but body shots at this stage aren't going to get the job done as Oscar buries the right hand, left hook, another left hook. Can he finish him here? He shouldn't be sitting on the ropes, and he better start throwing punches. Vic Dracula says keep him up. His eyes are still clear, so Vic not thinking of stopping the fight, but there's a series of jabs, right hands. Still hasn't had the time is called. The bell ends the 11th round. Vic right in there to stop it. Now, that was a nice round for Oscar again.
Last round, baby. Suck it up. Suck it up. Don't shoot nobody. You tired, man. You're tired. Look here, let me tell you something. This your last round. You should be feeling good as anybody, man. It's gonna make history, man.
I get a 199 with Oscar winning every round. It was a round back there along the line, Dave, you talked about that possibly they could have given it to Castillejo. We'll see. Somebody see just how the judges have it. Oscar's totally out in front. We're not off by more than a point or two here anyway.
Don't get hit. Don't get hit, you understand?
Second round. That final instruction, don't get hit, you understand? Floyd knows that he's way out in front. But now you see the nature of the fighter. It's not the nature of the fighter to just run. Let's see what Oscar does.
You have to do with the thing that got you here and stay in the same rhythm that you had. You don't need to be reckless, but you need to get the double jab out. You need to be moving. You need to be setting a good pace.
Well, he's done that. He's landed 3 jabs already. Oscar's not staying away from this guy. He's fighting him. He has those hands held high. The frustration I can't imagine that Castillejo is feeling, because everything he does, Oscar smothers, and on very few occasions has he been able to land a clean shot. Big jab, bounces the head back at Castillejo. Body downstairs, back up with the right hand. Hard right hand that time.
And one of the most frustrating aspects of fighting De La Hoya is that he will not unnecessarily gamble. He'll fight you, but he will not give you a chance to make up for 11 rounds of his dominance by giving you one crack at it. So he doesn't open up and gamble and lunge and try to get into combinations here. Everything is coming off the jab, and that has been the story throughout this fight. He takes as much as the situation allows, and then he moves into a different situation.
Misses the chopping shot, does Castillejo. And Castillejo, in all honesty, for the first minute and 30 seconds of this round, has done a decent job. Oh, look at that. Just as I say that, he snaps his head with the right hand.
He had a jinx him, huh?
De La Hoya on the bounce here in the 12th round. I'll tell you one thing, no matter what comes down here, we know that De La Hoya is going to win this fight now because Castillejo doesn't seem to have the power right now left to really hurt Oscar. But it's been a brilliant, brilliant move to 154 for Oscar De La Hoya. His boxing is sensational. He landed heavier punches. His defense is always there. Selected his moments. He's landing the right hand at will now and just has frustrated the daylights out of Javier Castillejo from Spain, whose reign is about to end in about 40 seconds as the super welterweight champion of the world of the WBC. Oscar nailing shots here, making it definitive. Not satisfied to just cruise. Castillejo showing his bottle, but look at this, right back comes Oscar.
Nice 5-punch combination. Good positioning, landed them solidly, and when his opponent did not seem shaken, De La Hoya just backed up and started boxing again. And that has been the story of the fight for him.
And the crowd's really into it now. A really solid right hand, right on the chin. And at the end, down goes the champion. It's all over for him now. He'll take the standing 8 count, and there won't be a lot of time left. How about that, to make it definitive? Oscar did have enough power in the end to drop this guy. It's all over. It's either going to be a shutout for Oscar De La Hoya or possibly in 119, 108 all the way. We'll see what happens.
And what a perfect storyline for him. We talked about his jabbing all throughout the contest, the fact that he would open it up and do whatever the situation gave him. If he boxes to a victory, fine. If he gets the power and the knockout, fine. Well, we get a combination in the terms of the boxing and then the power for the knockdown at the end of the final round.
Oscar De La Hoya getting the ice. A brilliant, brilliant fight for him. I scored at 120 to 108. We'll see how the judges have it with the knockdown in the final round. Brilliant finish. Feel sorry for this guy. People are watching in Spain. But this guy is one of the best ever. Daddy's very happy and very confident.
Yeah, the best surprise is no surprise. He will not get one here. As De La Hoya with the exclamation point. We've seen the power shots, the hook, and that one at the end of the fight finally puts Castillejo down. Notice the balance coming through. Good power from the side, and the hook drives him down. De La Hoya has been jabbing all night, staying outside. Here, when they're telling him don't get hit, he says, okay, but I might hit him. And he puts Castillejo down and cruises in round 12.
Brilliant finish for Oscar De La Hoya in this one.
That's a nice way to end an excellent boxing performance with a dab of power.
And great success at 154. He's going to become the new champion, no question about it. Knocked down again, Dave.
And this is the blueprint for him going up.
Mayweather, I got a new one thing. My legs weren't under me. I mean, I felt really good, but...
Ladies and gentlemen, here at the MGM Grand of Las Vegas, we go to the judges' scorecards. After 12 rounds, all 3 judges scored the bout the same, 119 to 108. All for the winner by unanimous decision. Now a 6-time world champion and new WBC super welterweight champion of the world, the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya.
Well, all the judges had it the same way, 119 to 108. We had it 100 to 107.